Should we put Jason at the end just in case he joins us?
I didn't see him up there.
No,
Hopefully
he's
he's coming.
not here yet, but maybe he'll join us and
Yes.
we can go after Dene.
Good. I checked my emails since the class. That told me that Antonio didn't have the sound last week. So and also Masha couldn't make it. I don't think she's gonna be here tonight also, but probably will be here next week. Okay, so good. All right, so we have that. Any other questions, or we'll just continue on page 66? Let's see. We had. I'm trying to think. Okay. I had asked you to do some writing. Let's start with that, everybody. Okay, so starting with Sarah, you can all put you don't have to, start with the first couple of people. Sarah and Michelle can put your writing sample onto the webcam.
Is this page 69?
Yes, 69.
Oh, 69. Okay.
Okay. All right. And I think I mentioned I do not write in script in either English or.
Yes, you did. Okay.
That's
Okay.
pretty.
A little.
Can
Yes, Sadi.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can. The yud, you know what?
Too big?
I think it's a little too big. It really should
Okay.
be like it's between a quarter and a third of the space between the line near the top.
Okay.
And it's a very simple little upside down L. Okay, Michelle, let's see yours.
Where am I? Here I am. Here we go.
Yes, very nice. Okay, Sadi and Sadi Sofit, and you even made the alternative, Sadi. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I love writing the Hebrew. Yeah, it brings me back to my childhood.
I think it's nice. It's not an absolute requirement, but I think it's a good thing to learn that, and particularly if you enjoy anything artistic, letters like that really I find them beautiful. The Tzadi Sofit and everything. Meryl, let's take a look at yours. Okay, a little bit closer and a little higher up. Good, good. Dollard, fine, good. Is there another line? Oh, the yours. That's fine. Thank you, Meryl. That looks good. Lori. Okay, a little bit closer. Okay, that's good. Yes, everything looks fine there. Good. Dollar. One thing about the dollar, instead of making it look a little bit more like the 3, which is the tzadi, and it's the bottom piece of it sort of vertical.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the left a little, because that makes it look a little bit more like a tzadi.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. So that's a very minimal change. Bonnie, how about yours?
I had a problem with those dollars, I can tell you that.
Let's see. Everything. I see. So that's basically it. You know what? There's one of them that's perfect right in the middle.
What?
Basically, where you end going
one.
down. Yes, I think that's the same one I was thinking of. Instead of going off to the side, ending it sort of going down. That's the best one. But this is just a question of taking a little time to get used to. It's a whole new thing. That page looks good. I didn't see the yuds, but I assume that they're okay.
The little lines.
Yeah. Amy. Excellent. Little closer. On the tzadi, you could the third from the last one is slightly more representative than the others. Should go up a little bit more towards the top.
Okay.
That's certainly readable. That's fine.
Okay.
But just in style of the tzadi sofit, I'm sorry, the tzadi sofit I was talking about. You can see in the book, it goes a little bit further, like up to the, and it goes beyond the line, actually.
Got it.
Okay, Batya and Antonio. Oh, Batya first. Very good. There too, the tzadi sofit could be just go a little bit higher in style, that just to make it clear. That's fine. The tzadi is fine. The dollar is fine. I'm sure just lift it up for the yuds, but that'll be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Okay, Antonio, good to see you again. We heard you but didn't see you. That looks good. On the block printing, that piece that goes up, start that a little lower, about halfway. The very first one is good. Then you brought it a little bit too high to the top on the regular block sadi. The script, excellent, looks great. Okay, and Danae.
Okay. Oh my God, sorry.
That looks
I
like
just dropped my
popcorn. It
Truthfully,
appears it's
I
a nice
just saw
yellow. The
It's pretty
camera's
good.
okay, a little closer.
Okay.
Sadi's fine. Sadi's Sophie. Also there, maybe just a little, the end to go up just a little bit more after the curve, just and the script Sadi. There you go. I would say just a little bit higher to the top. Not Sadi Sophie. I'm sorry, not the top.
Oh,
Sadi is
okay.
fine. You see, just continue. You know, when you're going up there, just end it at the same top. Right, just there you go. That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
saying. The Dalit is fine. Yud's fine. Okay, everybody's good. All right. Any questions about the script, the writing, anything else? No. Okay, good. So let's go back now. And we did a lot of stuff last time. We're going to really learn the 7, 8, 9, and 10 are long chapters. So let's see how much we can do today. Maybe we can actually get through the whole thing, the rest of the chapter. All right, accent marks on page 66. Okay, let's have Sarah start and read the top paragraph. Unmute yourself. I see your lips moving, but I hear not.
Okay. The blessing phrase above is printed as it appears in most prayer books. If you look closely at the words, which I have not translated yet, you will notice that they each have a small vertical line written next to one of the vowels underneath the word. This line functions as an accent mark and indicates the syllable that is stressed in pronouncing the word. As a general rule, words that do not have such a mark are stressed on the last syllable. From now on, all the prayer book excerpts in this book will include these accent marks.
Excellent. I'm glad they're doing that. Okay, so Sarah, I got a couple of questions, 2 or 3 questions that I'm going to spread out. Sarah, what is the name of the accent mark in Hebrew?
Milel and
Okay, well, that was another question. Okay, that's the 2 types of accentuation, Milel and
Milra.
Milra. Good. Michelle, okay, what is, if it's Mil-Ale, it'll have the accent mark there, just like they're describing. Do you remember the name of the accent mark in Hebrew? Anybody? I'll take hands. Oh, okay. Meryl's the next in line. What, Meryl? What's the
Meteg?
Meteg? Good. That's accented Mil-Ale. Meteg. Good. Yes, the Meteg is the accent mark, and it appears if you have a vowel that's underneath, it appears to the left of that vowel. I mentioned that a while back, and I was pleased to see that it is in here as well. So that's the meteg. In a prayer book, it'll appear on a Mil-Ale word that'll help you. Not every prayer book, the CBSC prayer book doesn't have them. I wish they did. I suggested it, but there was too much work and too late in the process. So these words over here on top are Mil-Ale words. And Michelle, why don't you read the first 2, right to left, of these Mil-Ale words in Hebrew?
The ones under reading practice?
The ones on the very top of the page.
Yeah, I say that.
Okay.
But so, wait, let me just get the letters here.
This is tricky.
So, Vanu. Oh, that's a Vanu. But
Yes,
the accent is on there. That's a Vanu.
Good. And so Michelle,
that's a Vanu. Okay, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Vitsivanu. And so what's tricky about that is right after the tzadi, you have what looks like a cholam, but it isn't. The tzadi has a chirik already. It has a vowel, so you know that that is a vav with a dagesh chazak. It's not pronounced u. It's a vav, and it has its own vowel. Vitzivanu, and it's accented on the vanu. So that was a excellent reading there. And do one more word, Michelle, and then we'll go move on to Merrill for the next two.
Am I supposed to know that letter? I don't think I know that letter. Ha, is that a ha? I don't know.
Which letter? Oh, I'm sorry. They haven't taught that letter yet.
No.
Okay. It's with that.
Kadeshanu.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It is a K sound, another K sound, and yes, Kiddushanu, and you pronounce the schwa because there's a dagation there, and you have the accent on shanu. Good, very good. Okay, Meryl, what are the next two?
Oh,
The last two, right?
What was that?
The last two.
Yes.
Melech
Good.
and Eloheinu.
Eloheinu. Good. Okay, so those are examples of mil-el words that have a meteg on them. Okay, good. Why don't you read just the next line, Meryl, in this chapter, and then what's underneath?
So we introduce one new vowel. Is my thing on? Okay, sorry. In this chapter, we introduce one new vowel sound, which is formed using symbols you have already learned.
Okay. And so read it. It sounds like.
Sounds like I-E as in pie, sounds like I as in pie, or Y, or Y as in sky.
Okay. And that's the combination of the patach followed by a yud without another vowel on the yud. If there's a vowel on the yud, that's the yud's a consonant. In this case, no vowel on the yud. It's part of the whole vowel. I wish they had named these. No, so this is non-official. I created my own naming system, but please don't claim that this is just the way I like to do it. But it's not the official name for this. So to me, calling this a patach malay and using malay as a similar for other things is an easy way to describe, instead of having to say kametz followed by a yud. I'd like to say patach malay, but those are not the official names. If you look at the back of the book, the folding thing, the things like that generally do not have names. It's a blank place there, but I like to do that. So you'll forgive me for that, and so let me call it a patach malay. So that's a combination of the ah sound followed by the yud, and it's almost like adding e to the previous vowel. So like ah e becomes I, ah e, and so that vowel combination, and a vowel combination is called a diphthong, D-I-P-H. T-O-N-G. There's a crossword puzzle or Scrabble word for you. Sarah has a slight smile. And this is an English teacher's word. Diphthong is a combination vowel, and that's what this is. It's on my first sheet, and I think I wrote the different Malay forms. But this one again is I, as in when you're referring to God, you say Adonai. Now, you may have heard some people say Adonai, and that comes from the Ashkenazi, where the kametz is pronounced or instead of ah. So then, so that's the third difference. The tav without a dagesh in Ashkenazi is an S. The kametz is or instead of ah, and the kametz malay, the equivalent with the kametz, is pronounced oi instead of I. Otherwise, the two Hebrews are the same.
Ron, I was smiling because I'm the only person in my immediate family. My parents, my brother, and most of their friends were all English teachers. So I'm the only person who did not become an English teacher.
Oh, really? Very good. So you have that in the family.
Yeah.
Things don't always work out. I'm going to take 10 seconds for this. So I went to Bronx High School of Science. And by the way, Laura, your mother-in-law went to Bronx Science. We had Yeah, she graduated, well, before I was born.
She would have been 86 now.
She was one of the, I believe hers was the first graduating class at Bronx Science that included women. She was in the post-war thing. So we had many conversations about that. So I went there and I did take science classes, but I got to tell you, English language, I was put in a wonderful English language class, and that led to me becoming a poet and a liturgist. And even though it wasn't my career, I excelled in English in a high school devoted to science. Okay, let's see. So we're up to, we're up to Lori. We're gonna do some reading practice. Why don't you read all of line A?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have, we're gonna read it 2 times so everybody get a chance to do some stuff. Okay, line A.
Okay. Chai,
Mm-hmm.
lai, tai, dai, I, my, by, sai, rai, nine.
Perfect. I do need to give you 2 definitions. The first one is a very important word, chai. You may have recognized it. Where the chet and the yud around your neck. Chai is alive, alive. It comes from chayim, which is life, and so that's an important word to know. It also, with Jewish numerology, it's the number 18. And so the number 18 has become a holy number against multiples of 3. 3 times 3 is a holy number, and 6, the number of days of creation. 3 times 6 is 18. There's a lot of play with numbers in the mystical Judaism. The other word, the fourth one, dai, is a shortened. Well, is the base of Dayenu from Passover. Dai is enough, enough. Dayenu, enough for us. Okay, Bonnie,
Yeah.
line B.
Shaddai,
Right,
Yadai, Achai,
right.
Banai,
Say that again.
Banai,
Yes. Mhm.
Harai,
Yes.
Chayai,
Mm-hmm.
Avadai.
Good. Okay. This is a little off color. I got to tell you, Shaddai means my breasts. My breasts is also a reference to God, El Shaddai. Now, I'm not sure where this comes. That's usually translated as God Almighty, but God is often, God up high, God in the mountains. You can make some sort of a symbolic connection there. I don't know, but I thought I'd tell you that. I always have fun with that. It's interesting how that becomes a God word. Of course, that, in some ways, that's the source of life to a new human being. That's survival. So
I have a question about that really briefly is, there's a lot of poetry in the Bible about under the wing, so is that related to that? Shaddai?
I have never heard that,
Okay.
Batya, but let me tell you, you're saying it now. Absolutely. As soon as you said that, that's what I was thinking. But I had never thought that before. But it may well be. There is a lot of poetry, a lot of symbolism. There's actually humor in the scriptures. There's some things. When you become a real expert in language, it took me years, but Jack had pointed out to me sometimes when they play with words that sound like each other, like you could make a quip in English, a pun over words that sound alike. That actually occurs in the Bible. There are a few instances when there's almost a joke in the Torah, if you can imagine it, based on plays on meanings and on symbolism. So I wouldn't be surprised at all about that.
And just another, is Shaddai feminine?
You would think so, but I is a masculine plural possessive ending. Okay, so that is first person. So first person doesn't have masculine and feminine. Second and third do. I means mine, more of one, more than one, mine. So if you were to say one breast, that would be shadi, and shadai is my breasts. Okay, but it's not masculine or feminine because the first person I and we doesn't have masculine and feminine for possession. The second and third persons do, all you and all of you and they, those have masculine and feminine, but for some reason the first person I and we doesn't. Okay, you look confused, Michelle. That's the problem with something like this. You pick up no, not confused.
No, I'm not even gonna try to remember that.
Okay.
You
No,
know.
that I have that on some sheets of mine. But that's later on. That's
I'm
for
just
the
trying
next
to
class.
Just trying to figure out how to pronounce one of these words. Okay,
Oh, which word you having trouble with?
we didn't get to it yet.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah.
A few of these again, I have to define. Again, I, that ending again means my something in the plural. So yadai is a yad is a hand. Yadai, my hands, my hands. Achai, ach is a brother. Achai is my brothers. Banai comes from Bain, my sons or my children. Okay, those are the important ones on that line. Okay, let's see. Bonnie, you were the last reader, right? Okay, so Amy, line 3. Yeah, line C.
Okay. Dayanai,
Yes.
Yiladai,
Yes.
Silai,
Yes.
Sirachai,
Yes.
Sirachai,
Yes.
Dayenu.
Yes. Dayenu. So there's a meteg on the yud there, which they don't include here. And like I said before, Dai is enough. Dayenu, enough for us in the song that we sing at Passover time. Very good. Okay, Batya D.
Avotai,
Mm-hmm.
Emotai,
Right.
Elohai,
Mm-hmm.
Elohaik,
Yes.
Elohaich.
Elohayich. It's Milel. Elohayich. That's
Okay.
exactly right.
And Chaim.
Chaim. Good. Okay, Antonio, let's start again in the beginning with A.
Okay. Chai,
Mm-hmm.
Lai,
Mm-hmm.
Tai,
Right.
Dai.
Yes.
This is an Alef. AI. I don't know. How do you pronounce that? If it's a silent R and it's got a top underneath it, it's I.
Okay, that's the one with the Alef you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So just I. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. And then the next one is going to be my,
Right.
by,
Yes.
tsai,
Mm-hmm.
and the last one, I'm sorry, the penultimate is die, and the last one is nai.
Okay, except the next to the last one isn't the Dalet.
Oh, it isn't. It's a resh.
That's right.
Right.
Again, look-alike letter. Right.
Okay.
Good. Okay. And Danae, the last. So Danae, so we're talking about that. It's close. Your name is almost Danai. So Danae in Hebrew would translate as judge of. Did you know that?
Yes.
You did? Oh, okay. because Dan is judge. Judge. Well, I think plural. Judge of or judges of.
I was told that it was God is my judge, but I don't know.
Yeah, there actually
I don't
isn't
know as much as you.
there isn't a God part there, but Dan is judge. I guess that's what it's supposed to mean. Dan or Diane, that's another word for judge. But it's interesting. Many names come from the Hebrew. They don't all come from European languages. There are many, many names that come from Hebrew. Of course, Sarah, do you know what your name means? Unmute for a second.
Yes, I think it means princess.
That's right. Sar is prince in Hebrew, and Sarah is princess. Good. I'm looking to see any other. And of course, Batya we've talked about already. Daughter of God. Let's see. Those are the most obvious ones. Okay. So Danae, why don't you read the line D, the trickier ones?
Okay. Okay, so wait. Avotai.
That's correct. Avotai. Mm-hmm.
Avotai. Amotai.
Correct the first vowel.
Oh, emotai.
Emotai, exactly. I'll tell you what these things mean afterwards. Next.
So emotai, tai, emot, Eloha.
That's right.
Elohai. Elohai.
Right. Elohai. Mm-hmm.
Elohai.
Right.
Chaim.
Chaim. Good. So a couple of those, I forgot to say on line 3, the second one, Yiladai is my children, And Avotai, again, the I endings are all my. Avotai are either my fathers or my ancestors. Emotai is specifically my mother's or my female ancestors. Elohai, often in prayer, that means my God. El is one of the names of God. The next one, Elohayich, is your God in the feminine. Okay, you don't have to worry about all these, but I want to let you know about them because they are in prayer. Yes, Meryl.
How do we know that the second word is emotai and not emotai?
Okay, it sounded both the same to me. Say it again.
Well, Danae pronounced it, like you said correctly, as emotai, but how do we know it's not emotai?
Oh, I see. I probably didn't pick up that subtlety in the difference. I would say emotai instead of emotai, but that's not correct. It's a a different, slightly different dialect. The Israelis do one thing and the Americans do another. I would say emotai. But emotai isn't really wrong. It's just a different dialect. Antonio.
It's a question. When you mentioned this a couple of times through the chorus, and it's sort of like where Americans pronounce Hebrew differently. Is that because originally Americans were following an Ashkenazi pattern, and then the Israeli thing came in, as you mentioned, in the 70s? These sort of
very possible. I'm not sure for certain, but I think that's very much a possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, because Americans didn't follow the Sephardi until well after Israel. Interestingly, the first American Jews were Sephardim. the colonial Jews in the 16 and 1700s were all Sephardim who came from Holland, which had been a Spanish possession and refuge for most of the Spanish Jews. So the earliest synagogues, all of them, everything before 1800, are all Sephardi synagogues, and in places like Charleston and Newport and Savannah, places like that. Okay, let's see.
The word Hayim is in the Hashkivenu. What does that mean?
Life. Usually, Chaim has a kametz instead of a patach. This may be like an archaic word for life, but I know I was going over this with Jack. I had asked that with the pata, it's just usually not written now. It sounds the same, but with a kametz, that means life. Chai means alive, and Chaim means life. And so when you make a toast over Kiddush, l'chaim, to life. That's the source of that. Okay. Bonnie, you want to read the English at the bottom of the page 66 before we move on?
Sure. Is it my turn?
I think so. We you know,
Did Lori go?
oh, no, I'm sorry. Danae was the last one. Sorry. We'll get to you. Sarah's the next one in line.
Yeah,
Sorry. Sarah's
So
next.
you want me to read the English?
Yeah, read the
Okay.
English.
Okay, the last word you read on the line above is another basic Hebrew vocabulary word, Hayim. Hayim. This is a noun meaning life. It is also used as a man's name, and with the prefix la, le, it is a widely known Hebrew salutation meaning to life, l'chaim.
Good. So I guess both the kametz and the patach mean life there. Okay, Michelle, why don't you read the top of the next page? Page 67. The letter Yud.
The letter Yod with other vowels. Occasionally, you will see an unvoweled letter Yod following the Segal vowel
Mm-hmm.
or the Chametz vowel. And so, so this does make my head hurt. In such cases, the letter Yod is silent and does not affect the pronunciation of the preceding vowel. Read aloud the following examples. May I try to read one or two of these to see if I could do it?
Okay. Yeah, I think we have everything. Why don't you take two of them?
Two of them. Okay, this is what I came up with. B'mitzvotav. Tav.
Perfect,
Tav.
Michelle.
There, yeah, okay.
Perfect. Meryl, why don't you take the next word? Meryl.
I'm trying to sound it out in my head.
Okay. No, I decided these are interesting words. I'm going to give one each to everybody. What's the next one, Meryl? Second word.
Mitzvotecha.
Good. Okay. That's correct. I'll explain afterwards. Lori, how about the next one?
Okay. Einecha.
Good. And Bonnie, the last one.
Uvishorecha.
Good. So what they didn't, okay, so yes, so the yud is silent and does not affect the pronunciation of the preceding vowel. Okay, so that I'd like to call that the sego malay. That's different than the others. When it's a full patach, it becomes I, it changes. But when it's a sego with a yud, it's the same thing. It doesn't change. It's just like mitzvotecha. It doesn't become a or anything. Mitzvotecha. Okay. Now the other one with the kametz. Why don't you go ahead, Lori? Read the next paragraph.
Okay. When, however, the unvoweled letter yud follows the chametz vowel at the end of a word, it sounds exactly the same as the combination, the patak yud or the patak malay.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the best known example of such an occurrence is the word Adonai.
Mm-hmm.
Another well-known example is the word mitzvotai.
Good. So Adonai literally means it means my lords, and mitzvotai is from mitzvah, mitzvot, plural. Mitzvotai is my commandments. Okay. So generally, the kametz malay, just like the patak malay, those change a little bit from a to I. The segol malay, as I call it, doesn't change. It's just eh. And the third thing that I wrote to you about, you were confused, and I'm not sure that they clearly explain it here.
They don't, but you clearly explained it.
I did, and I'm going to tell the whole class now. I was waiting for this to come up. So write this in your grammar, in the grammar section. A special ending, there's no word for it, but when you have a kametz and under any syllable, not syllable, any consonant, yud, vav. So in that particular thing, kametz yud vav, the yud is silent. The yud is silent, just like the segol malay. The yud is silent, and so
I'm
you
sorry,
pronounce
Ron.
a and v. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not following you. That wasn't what I thought you were going to talk about.
Oh, okay. We'll go to that afterwards. In this one, though, everybody write it down because this is important. The suffix kametz under any letter. Meryl, you confused?
Yeah.
Ron, can you write it? Can you write it out
Oh,
and
sure.
show us?
That would be great.
Yes.
I'm
Oh, okay, sure. I should have been doing that. I guess we didn't actually need to. That's the perfect solution. Okay, so I'm going to put in a resh, for instance. Okay, so that's resh. It could be any consonant, but resh with a kametz, yud vav. That would be pronounced rav or rav if you do the guttural. Rav. Okay. Another example.
But how is that different than, I mean, haven't we already seen that?
What it is an example. Specific. It's specific to having the vav after the yud. It's a kametz. So you come without the vav. Suppose you do this. Okay, see that? Resh with a kametz and a yud afterwards. That would be rai, just like we learned here.
But only at the
I.
end of the word, right?
Yes, and so this also would be the kametz yud vav. That's a good point. It's only at the end of the word. So the kametz yud vav, that is pronounced rav, or say I did it with a tav. Let me see. Here, this one. That would be pronounced with my under my finger, tav. This other one, rav. Okay, at the end of the word, but specifically kametz yud vav. So it's like the kametz, it's like the yud isn't there; it just goes from the kametz to the vav, and the yud is silent, and it's kept as ah. It doesn't go to I. That's always av. Kametz yud vav, always av at the end of the word. Is that clearer now?
I get it, yeah.
Okay. What was your question, Lori?
I thought you were going to say, and maybe I didn't understand you on this, but I thought that you also told me that even though the book says that a kamatz yod, I'm just calling it a kamatz yod instead of a kamatz malay. The book says kamatz yod is the same as just a kamatz in the middle of a word, but at the end of a word, it sounds like I. But I thought you told me that this business about a kamatz yod in the middle of a word is never going to happen.
Right.
So it's either going to be, it's always going to be kamatz yod comes at the end of a word and sounds like I, except for this one little tiny exception, which is if it's at the end of a word, but we added a vav on, then we go back to it's just a kamatz.
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
Well, because then
Okay.
it's not the end of the word.
What was that?
The vav is a suffix though.
Then it's not the end of the word if there's a vav after it. So it wouldn't be an I.
Yeah. So, right. It's always av.
I don't think it needs to be complicated. It's still the same rule. If it's at the end of the word, it's an I. If it's not, it's an ah. And if it's a vav at the end, it would be an ah, because it's not the end of the word.
But if it's a kametz yud at the end of the word, then it's also I.
Right.
Yes.
But
I thought the book wasn't really clear in that. Does everybody see that now that that if at the end it's kametz if it's kametz yud, it's I. If it's kametz yud vav, it's av. Okay.
no, I think it's just complicating it. If it's a kametz yud vav, it's not at the end of the word, so it's an ah.
Oh well, but that would have to be the end of the word. If the word ended with kametz yud.
Kametz yud vav, the kametz yud is not the end of the word.
That's true.
It is a
Okay,
vav.
right.
So it's the ah. To me, that's just awfully complicated. Just
Yeah. Well,
adding the vav, like whatever.
I didn't intend to make it complicated. I thought I was making it a little clearer, but maybe not. When these things come up, we'll see how we pronounce
I
it.
just think,
Any correction.
Yeah, I think we got it now.
Good. Okay. So let's see. Bonnie, was it your turn to read?
After Lori. Yeah.
After Laura, yeah. So why don't you read the thing on the bottom, the first everything on top. This is the root Sadi Vav Hey.
You want me to read the word?
The English, yeah. The word mitzvah.
Word mitzvah comes from the root Sadi Vav Hey, which has the basic meaning of command or order. The following are examples of Hebrew words formed from the root Sadi Vav Hey. Letter Hey is the last letter of when the letter Hey is the last letter of a root, it sometimes does not appear in words formed from that root. In one of the examples below, the letter Hey has dropped out and only the root letters Sadi and Vav remain.
Right. So this shoresh is an irregular shoresh. It's not a common shoresh that goes by the rules. It goes by there are exceptions when one of the vowels in a shoresh, in a root, is aleph or ayin or hey, particularly maybe vav and yud. Those are irregular verbs and they follow a different pattern when they're conjugated. And so that's what they're saying here. Some things change. Okay. Amy, why don't you read the first two and then Batya, the next two words. I'll say the English. Commands, commander, or governor in Hebrew is unmute.
Thank you. Mitzaveh.
Good. Okay. Tricky word because it looks like that's a shuruk, but it isn't because it's everything with command. The tzadi has a vowel of its own, and so that's not an u. It's a vav with a segol. Mitzaveh. Excellent. Read the next one also.
Mitzuveh.
Good. Okay, Batya, why don't you read the other two words?
Diva.
Yes. Oh, you haven't learned this ending yet. Okay, can't do that. Well, that comes later on in the book. The ending of Vav Yud, you don't have to worry about this now. I'll tell you, that's pronounced Ui. Ui.
Oh,
So this is Tzivui,
Sibui.
and that means command or order. Tzivui. But they'll show that later, and they didn't do everything yet. All right. Some more aspects of the Shoresh Tzava. Antonio, why don't you read the top paragraph on page 68?
Try to find the root Sadi Vav He in each of the following prayer book excerpts. The number of occurrences of the root in each excerpt is indicated in parentheses. In every case but one, the letter He has dropped out and only the letters Vav and Zadi remain. There are also prefixes and suffixes attached.
Good. So I think that I had suggested, I hope I suggested doing this for homework. If not, we'll just read through them. Did I suggest that for homework? This exercise?
I
No.
don't
Okay.
remember.
Okay. Take a minute or two and circle. The first one has 2 occurrences. The second one, 1. The third one, 1. The fourth one, 1. Okay, and the fifth one, 1. So just take a minute or two and find those things that you believe. Do it in pencil that are use the shoresh for command. Okay, and then Antonio, you can do the first one when everybody's done that, and then we'll go back to Sarah. To Danae. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. You're saying that there's only 2 of the letters that are there because the other one, the He, has dropped out, or all 3 should be in there in the root?
What it says, 2 words in the first thing that you're going to be reading
Right.
are derived from the shoresh tzava.
Okay, so all 3 of them should
So
be.
so I think we're probably ready. This one, which 2 are they on the first line?
Actually, okay, so it should be. I'd see the penultimate next to last to the end.
Yes.
Okay, and also the last one. No, not the last one. It's not the last one.
Yes, the last one.
It is the last one because the He drops off. Gotcha.
Right. So you have Tzadi Vav in B'mitzvotav and Tzadi Vav in Vitzivanu. Complicated there, but those are the 2 for the first line. Okay, thank you, Antonio. Let's see. Danae. Second one. What's the one occurrence?
Is a mitzvah?
Okay, where are we?
Oh, second line.
Yes.
4th from the end. So,
Third from the end, or
well, I circled the 4th one.
fourth from the, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And so this is pronounced mitzavcha. Mitzavcha. The tzadi has a vowel already, and so the vav is a consonant, and it's the end of the syllable. Mitzavcha. Good. Did everybody have that? Yes, Amy.
Quick question. So I think, one of the rules we learned was that when a consonant has a dagesh,
Yes.
the shva. But in this case, even though the vav has a dagesh, it's part of the syllable, right? Why is that?
You caught something that I didn't catch. Mitzavecha.
Oh.
I didn't catch that. You did. Oh boy, you folks, you should go on a TV show. Remember the College Bowl? Anybody? Oh my God. I didn't think of that. You are absolutely right. Mitzavecha, because that dagesh is with a shava. Mitzavecha. Good for you. Excellent. Oh my goodness. Everybody see what Amy was saying? Good. Okay. Excellent. Let's see, Batya. Oh, did you have a turn before? I think you're different on my screen now. Go ahead, do the third line here.
In the Lama'an Tizkeru, that one.
Yes,
Okay, that's it's going to be in the sixth word.
that's correct.
Mitzvotai.
Mitzvotai, my commandments. Good. Okay. So back to Sarah. The fourth phrase here.
Ahava Rabbah.
Yes,
Okay. Sixth word. B'mitzvo taich. No, but b'mitz oh
you were right the first time. You corrected it.
b'mitzvo taich.
Techa. So, okay, with
Techa.
the segol yud, that's different than the others. It doesn't change the sound. The yud is silent there. B'mitzvotecha. It'll take some memorization and getting used to this. It won't be overnight. It'll take a week or two, but I think after that you'll begin to recognize these. Meryl is smiling.
A week or two.
I think Meryl thinks it's going to take more than a week or two.
Year or two.
B'mitzvotecha. Excellent, Sarah. Okay, good. And Michelle, the last one. Oh, you have a very short thing there. That's got to be easy.
Oh, I didn't even look at that one. Okay, yeah, okay, so it's it's the second word.
Yes.
I didn't even see it before.
And how would you pronounce that?
Oh, who know? See, da?
Yes, Siva. I would do it more
Oh,
like an air,
va.
but Siva. Mhm. Good, you survived that page. Okay, so I might not have assigned that, but we have the exercises on the bottom of 69 that I'm pretty sure I did ask you to look at. So drawing the line connecting each Hebrew consonant and vowel combination with the English word that has the same sound. Meryl, let's do the ones on the right first. I'm going to read the English. You tell me number 1, 2, 3, 4 vertically, which it is. Meats.
4.
That's correct. Lori, dome.
You mute.
What was that?
Sorry, I didn't go over to the next page, I just realized.
Oh, yes,
So,
bottom
but
of
it would be the-
69.
Would be the last one on 70.
That would explain something. Yes.
Yeah, I made this
I was
comment
wondering why it
last
wasn't
time.
there.
Yeah.
It's on the next page on 70. I thought they
The
must have
last
made
one.
right the
Yeah,
last
Bonnie-
one.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Bonnie had told us. Bonnie told
Yeah.
us the other day
Did that
to look
last
at page
time.
70. Yeah.
So that was not clear on their part. Okay. So Bonnie, what's lie?
The second one on the right column on the next page.
That's correct. Okay. And Amy, shots.
That's the first one on the right on page 69.
That's correct. And Antonio, votes.
Votes. Where did I put votes? Votes is on the second page, top right, first one.
That's correct. Batya, bets.
Bets.
Bets is the third word down on page 69.
That's correct. And Danae, your.
Your is on page 69 on the right, the second one. below
That's
shop.
correct. Good, very good. Sarah, dates.
Dates is the bottom one on page 69.
Bottom one on page 69. That's correct. Okay. So now we're looking back on 69. The English yachts.
Who do you want me to do that also?
Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. We're just going on.
Yeah, I know I saw it. Oh, there it is. It's on page 69, the bottom of the left-hand column.
That's correct. Meryl, rude.
It's the first one on page 70.
Yes, it is. Good. And Lori, dot.
Dot is the very last one on page 70.
That's correct. Yet, Bonnie?
Wait, get?
Yet.
Oh, yet is the second one on that page.
Second one on 69, yes. Okay, and head. Amy, head.
Head is the second one on page 70 on the left.
That's correct. Deal, Antonio.
A deal. Oh, sorry. Oh. Yeah. Wait. Okay, deal is the first one on the page in the Hebrew on 69.
That's correct. And aid, Batya.
Aid is the third word down on page 69.
That's correct. And the last one, toad, Danae.
Toad is on page 69, the fourth one down.
Which number down?
Fourth one is what I did.
The fourth line, did you say?
Yeah, the fourth one, the fourth word.
Yes, it's the fourth one down, right, with the tav dalet. Good. Okay. Now, so the next one, so that completes that exercise. The next one was writing out, let me just get a sampling of, okay, on my screen, Sarah, Lori, Batya. That's on a diagonal. Let's see what you wrote there for the top half of these words. Okay, a little closer, Lori. We're still a little closer. Good. That looks good. Good. And Sarah, a little closer. That looks good. And Batya. Okay, that looks good as a sample of those. I didn't want to take too much time with that because it's already 7. Okay, any questions on that? Any problems that you couldn't figure out on that page?
Yeah, I was kind of curious just what folks put for nod, like what 2 ones they put for that.
That's letter L.
Yeah,
Nod.
sorry.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what did you said you had trouble writing that out?
Well, I wasn't quite sure if I did it correctly. I put a noon
Yes.
and a dalet, and then I put a patach under the noon.
That's correct.
Okay.
So now there are 2 of them. Okay, so that nun with a patach and daled. What's the other one?
Okay, well, I'm not sure if I did it right. I just did noon, Alef with a patach, and then a dalet again.
Okay. Oh, Alef with a so there's really more than there could be at least 4 ways of doing this. Now that I'm thinking, the other way would be with a kametz.
Oh, I guess yeah.
Kametz or a patak, but you could put an aleph in there, or you could put an ayin in there, or you could leave those 2 out and just use the vowel. So there really looks like there are 8 ways you could do that. So all combinations are good.
But Ron, how would you do that using an Aleph? Because don't you need to have a vowel under the Dalet, a Kametz or a Patak? So I don't think you can put an Aleph after.
Yes, but okay. So the I in there is wrong. The Aleph could go with. Remember, Aleph is the one consonant that can go without a vowel. So you could have the
Okay.
nun with a patak or a kametz, and then an aleph in the middle, and then a nun sofit.
But why would you?
Yeah.
Only if that word was known in ancient times to include that.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Okay.
What was that?
You wouldn't.
Right, unless you're at a much more advanced level and you knew that was a root that made sense in there. Again, at this level, any number of things are possible, and that so you might not know that. That's true. I'm just saying, as a possibility, it could be written that way. You challenged me, Bonnie. No, it's
Thank
good,
you.
but you're right. You wouldn't really know unless you knew specifically that was part of the shoresh, and that again, that's a much higher level of Hebrew. You know, you're going to have to spend a few years studying Hebrew to get to that point. So, for instance, Jack knows these things because he went to elementary and high school. You know, from first grade through high school, studying Hebrew all the time. So in that case, you would learn that by the time you graduate high school. But you need a lot of years of study. What you're going to learn here is a more limited thing, but enough to begin to translate and understand and get an idea of why some things do what they do in Hebrew. Okay, let's look at page 70. I think we'll have enough time to do all the reading here. Okay. Again, remind me who we're up to. Who was the last one?
I
You want
think
to say,
maybe
I
me.
think, so if
But-
Danae was last, it's probably,
I think
probably
so
me.
also. Okay, so Sarah, yes. Okay, so I want you to read. So I want everybody to get some practice here. Read all of line A. You'll each have a whole line to read. Okay, with these new vowels and consonants.
Okay. Rots,
Yes.
dots,
Yes.
hots,
Yes.
hoots,
Yes.
hooch,
Okay.
or I'm sorry, hook,
Right.
hook, sorry.
That's okay. That would be how you
That's-
transliterate it. But there is no ch sound in Hebrew.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Hood, whore, and
Who? I would just change the vowel slightly. Just hood. I mean,
hood.
hood is okay, I guess. Also, yeah. That would.
Okay, hood,
My guess would be that would be more of a boots, but hood. Yeah.
or more of a Brooklyn version.
Oh, God knows.
Okay. So hood, whore, and door.
Good. Okay, Michelle, line B.
Eno,
Yes.
Evo,
Yes.
Echo,
Mm-hmm.
Eb, oh, Evun, oh,
Not
Ebon,
Evone. Evone.
Ebon,
Right.
Ebon.
Just slight difference there. Mhm.
Yes, okay. Sano,
Good.
Savo,
Good.
Savon.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. Meryl, why don't you pick up line C?
okay. Me, May, Mav, Man, Yan, Yon, Yavan, Yavana,
Yes.
Yivacha.
Okay. What's the first vowel?
Ah, Oh, Yavacha.
Yavacha. Slightly different. The previous one is Yevana, but this one has three kametzim, Yavacha. Very good. Anybody in the class of Greek origin? No Greek origin? I asked that for a reason. The third from the last on the line, Yavan. Yavan is Greece. And if you look in the Amidah on this the paragraph that you add on Hanukkah, this is mentioned. It's the additional blessing of the miracles of Hanukkah because it took place in the time of the Greek rule of Israel. Yavan is Greece. Okay. Let's see. Next, Lori.
Okay.
D.
Alai.
So one thing, Lori, remember, when it's a chataf vowel, that's never accented. So you want to make it clear it's alei. Alei. Good.
Okay.
Because the
Alei.
chataf vowels never are accented syllables. I know that's a subtlety, but you'll pick that up. So alei, alai.
Sale. Sali.
Yes.
Ali.
Yeah.
Eli.
Eli.
Elayich.
Good. So that doesn't show it here, but there would be a meteg on the lama. That would be mil el. Elayich would be pronounced that way. Elayich. Okay. Bonnie, line E.
Raid, rad, rach, ran,
Vowel.
ran, run.
Ron. Like me.
Yeah.
Ron.
Rove.
Oh, I don't. Oh, wait a second. You skipped one.
No.
After Ron.
Rove. Isn't that also rove?
It's Rove.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I heard wrong.
No, R-O-V-E. They're both.
That's correct. Rove.
And then Rav.
That's right. Rav is a teacher. That's me also.
Raka.
Yes.
Rabbah.
Good. Rabbah is good word to know. That means many. Rabbah. When you want to have a strong thank you, thanks is todah. Todah Rabbah is thank you very much. Many thanks. Okay. And Rav is teacher. And the word rabbi comes from that. Rabbi, it really means my teacher, rabbi. Okay, line F, Amy.
Okay. Chaye,
Good.
Chave,
Yes.
Tave, Havaya,
Correct.
Tava,
Right.
Tavach, Tavai.
Yes, my audio missed the next to the last one. It broke up for a second.
Tavach.
That's correct. I thought that's what you said, but sometimes it skips a syllable. Very good, Amy. Antonio, line G.
G. Okay. Shit.
I guess so. I'm sorry. Not what you'd expect to find in here.
All right.
Yes.
Well, this is how to like. Okay, and the next one is going to be shy.
No, change the vowel slightly.
Oh, we've got she.
Shay.
Okay,
okay, because it's a tseva malay, so it's a full 8. Shay.
Okay, and then it's going to shades.
No, so that would be the first one.
Okay. Okay, so the vowel sound over here, Schultz, that's a Sadie Sophie, no, at the end?
It's a Tzadi Sofit, but
The vowel sound is wrong.
you have a chirik on the shin, and then a tseva on the yud. The yud is not part of the vowel. The yud is a consonant here.
Ah, Shevetz.
I think sheyetz. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I was doing a vav sound. Okay. So
Okay, sheyetz. Yeah. So when the yud has a vowel, then it's a consonant. If it didn't have a vowel, there it would be part of the. It would be chirik malay. Okay. Next one.
Okay. I'm blanking on the last one. That one. So it's sure. No.
This is the fourth word.
Yeah, I know. I'm blanking on the consonant at the end over there. Is it a chaf sofit?
Chaf sofit, yes.
So shoyoch. I can't. I don't know.
Okay. Sheyech. Sheyech.
Okay. Sheyech. Okay.
Next.
And that's going to be a shin.
Right.
Okay. And that's going to be a yin. A yin. No.
Very close.
A yin.
That's it. Ayin. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the last one is going to be okay. Okay. Zadi zo. Z. No. I the last one is nun sofit. I don't know the third letter over there. I can't pronounce that. It's a
Okay. That's a cholam.
right.
The cholam for the yud. The yud is a consonant in there.
Okay. So it's going to be se. Seyon.
Sion. Zion.
Zion. Okay.
Yeah. Sion.
Ron, can I ask a question about the dagesh in the yud?
Yes.
Why is there a dagesh there?
Again, this was part of ancient writings. I don't know the reason why it's there.
Do we not pay attention to dageshes and yuds because it comes up quite often?
The only time it would make any difference is if there's a shva under the yud. Otherwise, the dagesh in any of the letters, except with the dagesh kal letters, where it makes a difference in pronunciation. Other than that, the dagesh really doesn't affect anything unless it has a shiva under it. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, line H. You have two more lines will be done for today. Batya, why don't you do line H, and Danae will do I.
Yore,
Right.
Yodi, Yodeh,
Yodeh, right.
Yoda,
Right.
Yarach,
Right.
Yada,
Right.
Vayad,
Good.
Vayach.
Good. Okay, and Danae, finish up the page and the lesson.
All right. Ima.
Mm-hmm. That's actually Aramaic for mom or mommy.
Mm-hmm. Ina.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait. It would be Sina. Is
Sina,
that
right? Sina. Mm-hmm.
Sava.
Mm-hmm. Sava is army, other way.
Seva.
Mm-hmm.
Eva.
Mm-hmm.
Aicha.
What's the first vowel?
Saray, so A, so is it a ha? It's
Yes, it
not a
is.
ha? Okay.
Echa.
A
Exactly.
ha.
That's an interrogative. It's a question word. How? It's also the name of the book of. Well, they usually say Echa instead of Echa. I think it's Milva, however. The book read on Tisha B'Av, the scroll of Echa, Lamentations. And it starts with Echa. It's saying how have we gotten here? How have we gotten to such suffering? Okay, those have to leave, you can leave. We are on next Tuesday, and we're on till 7:30. If you want to have questions or want to ask anything else, let me see. Page 72 to 73 will be the homework. Do that for homework. 72 to 73. So somebody had a question.
So we're just reading pages 72 and 73?
Yes, so those are like we had before, where you have to circle.
Right.
Oh, no, it's not
No, they're
circling
not.
it.
Just
I'm
read.
sorry. I thought you had to circle something there. You don't. Okay. You know what? Just practice reading. You don't have to do any writing. Practice reading. Take that other thing back. Bottom of page 71 through the top of page 72. That's A through I. A through I, pages 71 to 72. Just practice reading those out loud. That'll be sufficient. If you feel you need to do a little writing of script, you can take 3 lines of these and just write them out. If you feel you need more practice on your script. But what I'd like you to do is read out loud, and then we'll read together. This way, you'll at least have more reading practice.
I had a question for Lori.
Yes.
What time is study group this weekend?
Oh, we don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Okay.
It's if you want to let me know any time that's particularly not good, it's usually Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. I wasn't sure because I usually have it in my calendar for 3, but I know last time was 5.
Right.
And I can do any time after. I have tourist study at that ends at 11:30, and then after that I'm fine.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure yet, but I think probably Sunday afternoon's been working out pretty well for people.
Good. And you can
And I
send
can't do 3
emails.
o'clock. I can't do 3 o'clock on Sunday, but I can do like 4 o'clock or something.
Okay, that's good to know.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Ron. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I also wanted to, for people that are here, just say that if you haven't heard of My Zuza and you need a mezuzah for your house, they're giving them away for free. And I can email the link if you're interested, but we got ours and did our dedication service. And yeah, it's really nice and easy. And they're just a nonprofit, and their mission is just to make sure that Jewish households have mezuzahs.
Great.
So yeah, let me know if you're interested.
Oh, it's great to know.
Thanks.
Good.
This is Sarah. Danae, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I have a,
Yeah,
it's for my new house that
new house, yeah.
yes, my new house that I'm very excited about.
Are you still in Florida, Sarah? No,
No,
no.
I'm on the Upper West Side, but I bought a house upstate and a second house. My
That's
mother-in-law
nice.
has a condo in Florida and a house in Michigan, but right now, believe it or not, she's living in Boston.
Oh, wow.
Oh my. Michelle is in Florida now. Isn't somebody else in Florida? There were 2 people. But
Batya, I think, is in
Batya's in
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Batya's in Florida. Yeah.
Because I know about half of you are in New York, and everybody else is scattered elsewhere.
Sarah, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling better, and I'm beginning to think it's allergies.
Okay, good.
So it was
So thank
respiratory
you.
stuff?
It's basically in my head, but total fatigue, just, no energy at all. But I had stopped taking my allergy pills about 3 or 4 weeks ago, because I thought I've been taking them for 40 or 50 years, and maybe it's time to stop, and maybe that's what caused all the problems.
I take mine from May through October, actually sometimes into November. It depends until there's a hard frost. And so I stopped taking them in the winter. But what I've noticed in my house, we have forced air heating system, and somehow that results in some dust and maybe even a little bit of mold spores. And I find myself sneezing inside the
Yeah.
house for no reason. I'm guessing it's from the dust in the heating system in winter.
You might want to look into an air purifier.
That sounds good.
I have forced air too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
Are there,
Everybody,
Question, Ron, on page 70, on line
yes.
G, the word shin,
Amy, line D, did you say?
G is in
J.
girl.
Okay.
The word shin, can you tell us what that means?
Okay. What number word again?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shin.
Shin. Okay. So I'm not sure. That might actually be the name of the letter shin. Except I don't think there's a yud in that. I think that shin is without the same thing without the yud. But
Okay.
sometimes the words are a little different. It might be the same. I don't have another definition of that. Oh.
Would it be Sheen though?
Yeah, this would be sheen, and so I'm thinking that it's just shin is just the chirik without the yud after it.
Okay, thank
I
you.
Again,
have a question. I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yes, Michelle.
I'm trying to write out my great niece's name. Her name is Rochelle Leora. And I'm just guessing. Does this look like the way it might be spelled? It's just a guess.
Yes,
I mean, I didn't want
I
to take
think-
time of the class, but I
I
kind of
think
thought it would
so.
be fun. I don't know
I-
if it would have the hay at the end or not, and I could ask my niece, but I just thought I would like to see.
Definitely have the hay at the end, Michelle.
Oh, okay.
What I'm thinking, there might be a yud after the lamed. There might be a yud, but
I'll
you know
ask
what?
her.
I think not. Just a maybe, but you double check because that's from Lior is too light, and so I'm thinking it probably doesn't have a yud, but it possibly could. Questions?
I have a question
Yes.
on one word.
Sure.
Page 43.
43?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Going back a bit. 40.
I am, so I don't forget.
There we go.
everything.
Yes.
So page 43 in the box about the blessing phrase, the
Yes.
last line of Hebrew, the first word.
Okay.
Did you say that word very slowly?
Sure. Yivarechecha.
Okay. So
Yivarechecha.
that's because it's a double letter. So that's why we're
Yes.
sounding out, even though
Exactly.
it's a middle schwa.
So it's a cha and a chaf, so chaf and a chaf sofit. So even though it's a sofit form, that's a double letter, and that's why you have to do a shva na in there. Yivarech, yivarechecha. This is part of the priestly blessing,
Okay.
the threefold blessing. Yivarechecha.
Okay. Got
Good.
it.
Yes, Amy.
No, sorry, I was saying goodbye to Meryl.
I was saying okay, and Meryl, same thing. Okay, good.
Okay,
Yeah.
good night, everybody.
Good night, Michelle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Take care. Any other questions?
I think I'm good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Laila
You're
tov.
welcome. Lila Tov. So long, Meryl. Okay. Anything, Antonio?
No, I'm leaving. I'm just, yeah, thank you though so much.
You're
How you
welcome.
doing, all right?
Yeah, I'm on till 7:30, so this is free time for anybody if you have a question.
I have so many questions. But the next, it seems like this course is going to continue and go on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm swamped. My semester's beginning on Monday, and I'm a little crazed right now, preparing at this point. So I don't know if I'll be able to. I'll figure out what happens. So
So you're in college now?
yeah. I teach. So I at this point.
So you're getting a graduate degree?
I've already finished. I'm already finished. So I'm actually teaching classes at this point. Yeah.
What are you teaching?
I teach Italian and Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. So and it's very hard. I empathize you with the teaching online. It's a sort of like I figured like let's get a view of like whatever. So it's like
So you've been teaching the whole year online also, I assume.
Since last March, I've been teaching.
Since last month, right?
Yeah.
I was amazed that I got used to this,
Yeah.
but I did get used to it pretty quickly. I was surprised. But for the students, you're missing a lot when you don't have the person-to-person contact.
It's very, very hard to call on them. It's very hard to see who's waiting. It's very hard to sort of like hear things. It's a very different dynamic. I'm not.
Yes.
I've had a friend who's been doing it for years. With like students, like mostly her students are in Asia, so they're getting American degrees, but it's a different dynamic, it's a different method, and it's like there are people who are actually trained in distance learning, and I am not. So it's a sort of like it's all virtually new to me. So
Right. Like I said, when I was asked to do it, I didn't know that I could do it. I had to think a week about it, but I'm glad I said I would try it out because, to my surprise, I actually picked it up. I'm not big on technology. I don't know very much, but it seemed to work okay. So I think the students are glad, and I'm glad I'm doing it.
they seem to enjoy the class. They seem to enjoy you. So that's what's you're getting rave reviews. So
Good. I hope you can continue because we'll go on and finish this book, and I've worked with the other book also, not as much as with this one, but that's going to be a nice, interesting challenge to go on to a little bit higher level of.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, I hope to see you, and I'll see what I can work out. Thanks for everything. I really appreciate it. Okay.
You're welcome, Antonio. Okay. Be well.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.